Good morning. Good morning, bluebirds. Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful, beautiful bluebirds. I think that's what I'm going to start calling my collective, bluebirds. Something about bluebirds, I don't know. Could be significant. You could be seeing a lot of bluebirds. Anything from an actual bluebird to a blue jay to a peacock. I think quails are blue or bluish. Anyway, I want to do a let's chat today, and I want to talk about postpartum depression. I've been called to talk about it. Some may call it baby blues. Some may call it the big old monster. But nevertheless, it's a thing. And I wanted to talk about it. I went through it for years. My heart goes out to anyone who's going through it now currently. I know that you may feel like you are drowning. Life doesn't get any better. You may feel that you have this beautiful blessing of a baby, of a newborn, of a child that has your face or your smile, your eyes, your essence, your spirit, your hands, your toes, anything. And you're just staring at this beautiful baby. And you feel nothing. You feel despair. You feel this feeling of bottomless depression. You don't know where it came from. You don't know what happened. During your pregnancy, you could have been having the best gestation of a lifetime. You could have been celebrating from the moment you found out to the moment you walked in the hospital doors. But something happened. You gave birth, whether it's emergency C-section, a scheduled C-section, or vaginal, and something triggered this chemical imbalance. You can't explain it. It's just this permanent gray cloud over your sky. And you cannot shake it at all. You can do all the mantras, all of the prayers, all of the meditation, all of the therapy, all of the walks. You could smoke all the weed you want. But it's not taken away from what is going on with you. You could talk to someone, but it's still there. You cannot talk to someone because you feel like they don't understand. Even if you know people that have been through postpartum, and people may even told you, you may go through that. You may feel great today. You may feel white as rain today, but it hits you like a ton of bricks. It will happen. It may not happen with every pregnancy. Some pregnancies may be better than the other, but it could happen. You could feel this amount of heaviness in your spirit towards your child that you hate that you have, but you have it. You could be feeling like, I miss my old life. I miss the person I used to be before you. I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't recognize this. I wasn't depressed before I had children, and now I'm just sad all the time. I cry for no reason, and I have a healthy baby. I should be grateful for this blessing. But you don't feel grateful. You feel trapped. You feel stuck. You feel different. For me, I had a lot going on during the time of my pregnancy. I wasn't really feeling like I had a ton of support. I had some family that helped me out throughout my pregnancy, but I didn't have a lot of support. I didn't have a lot of what you see on TV. And trust me, family support during pregnancy is a luxury, because some of the time you get hit with betrayal, you get hit with jealousy, you get hit with people are busy, people don't want you to feel loved or appreciated, or they feel like you have other people that may do things for you, so why do I have to do it? They may feel that you have this whole plan scheduled. Keep it in mind, they don't even talk to you about anything. They just assume. And if they have just taken the time to talk to you about your life and about how you feel about things, they would have known that you were feeling alone, or you were feeling lost. You were feeling unsupported, unheard, unseen. You needed that extra hug. You needed that extra embrace. You needed that extra smile, that extra bouquet of flowers, that invitation out to lunch, that some people didn't even get a baby shower. You may not have gotten one because you may not have any family or friends that wanted to do that for you. I barely got one. My in-laws threw me and my husband a baby shower. But if it wasn't for them, my husband's sister, I wouldn't have gotten one. I've been pregnant twice. I have experienced loss in that way, and that will be a different Let's Chat. I don't want to talk about that in this Let's Chat because this is just dedicated to postpartum depression. I know that topic will trigger a whole slew of tears for people that have experienced that in addition to postpartum depression. So I'm not going to talk about that in this video. But during my pregnancy, I did not have my mother. And maybe a lot of you don't have parents, but especially your mom. And I don't know about you, but I'm a woman. And not having your mother alive during that time, which for me was one of the most important times in my life, it was so hard for me. It was so hard. I was trying to balance having the most beautiful time of my life with grieving the worst time of my life all at one time. Those two energies were married to each other during that time of my pregnancy. When I got pregnant, I was still grieving the death of my mother. Heavy. I didn't have my mother to call, to bounce ideas off of, to ask if this is okay, if that's okay. Should I feel this? Should I do this? Should I eat this? Should I take this vitamin? What should I do when my child does this? I didn't have her phone calls. I didn't have her checking up on me. I didn't have her her love. I didn't have her support. I felt her very strong in the spiritual, but in the physical, I would have loved that. I would have loved to have been able to sit with her and talk to her about motherhood and having a baby, being a mom, knowing that she's my mom. I would have loved that. I didn't get that. I barely got the opportunity to sit with other mothers when I was pregnant and just be in that energy. All the other mothers that were around me during my pregnancy were always busy. They didn't have time for me. I had maybe one or two people that would check up on me all the time. And they weren't the people that I did expect. The people that I did expect to be around and help me and support me, knowing that I did not have a mother, I didn't have my mom alive or around, they dropped the ball. Total disappointment. I felt betrayed. I felt abandoned. It was so hard for me. That started my depression before I had my child. I didn't think I was going to go through postpartum because I didn't know how that felt. I didn't know what it was, totally. You can only know what it is unless you go through it. Nobody could explain it to you. Nobody could talk about it to you and be like, this is what it is. Excuse me. You have to go through things to know what it is, to talk about it and have knowledge and experience. You have to actually go through it. So if you have a woman or a person that is talking to you about postpartum depression and they have never been pregnant or they've never had children, or I believe my husband went through postpartum depression as well because he was getting that energy as well, because he was missing the same things I was missing. I mean, he was going through everything except the chemical imbalance because I was going through that with my body. But everything else he went through as well. All the other symptoms and signs of postpartum depression my husband went through as well. So it is possible for your partner, if they're there present with you throughout the whole pregnancy and supporting you throughout the whole pregnancy, which is what my husband was doing. He was my rock. He was my number one support. I depended on him for everything during my pregnancy, which is what happens. When you become pregnant, you do need help. Down to getting out the car. I mean, sometimes you even might need help bathing. It's the truth. You might be so heavy, you might just be so tired, you might not even want to bathe when you're pregnant. That's the truth. During my third trimester, it was hard. You know, I wasn't as limber as these 20-year-olds. I had my child when I was 34, 35. I got pregnant at 34 and I had my child at 35. So my doctor was calling it a high-risk pregnancy because I was older. But keep in mind, I mean, a lot of women are having children in their 30s and 40s now because they're realizing that life should be experienced when you're younger, like doing things, doing, when you have children, you always worry about them. From the moment they're born, now you are worried about another human being for the rest of your life. When you have no children, that's when you could just do things at drop of a dime. Be spontaneous. Go traveling. Go to whatever you want. Do whatever you want to do without worrying about if my child is okay. Babysitting. Trusting the person that is caring for my child. Are they responsible enough? Where my child is, are they okay? Do they need me? Having your phone on and checking your phone every 5 minutes. I mean, you think about all these things. It's like the number one thought. You know, I didn't have that type of talk with people when I was pregnant. You know, nobody was letting me know. I mean, people were telling me, like, you know, your life is about to change. Yeah, I know. I'm about to have a baby. But, I mean, I didn't have, again, people that went through it, like experienced parents, like years deep in. I didn't have that wisdom sitting with me on a daily or when I truly needed it. I didn't have that trying to school me on what is about to happen here. I mean, it happens all at once. You become a parent and then everything is happening. When I had my child, I had weeks to go. When I went in for my appointment and they said, "Oh no, it's happening today," I was like, "What? I am not ready. I still have things I want to do before I have this baby. I still have like 3 weeks." They're like, "Well, your baby doesn't have 3 weeks. It's happening today. Your baby is coming today." I'm like, "Oh my God." Oh God, be with me, please. Because I am not ready. I am not mentally ready. I'm not spiritually ready. I kept thinking, I'm about to be a mom today. I'm already a mom, but I'm about to be a mom today. I'm about to have this baby in my hands. I'm about to be breastfeeding soon. I'm about to be staying up late. I'm about to be pushing a baby carriage. Like, I'm about to be doing all these things real soon, sooner than I thought. I thought I still had a couple of weeks to kind of let it marinate that my life is severely about to change, and that did not happen. When I had my child, I don't know, man. I was just so worried about failing. I was trying to be this version of a parent that I thought I needed to be for my child, but I ended up neglecting myself. And then it became so overwhelming that my husband had to fully step up because our child would have been neglected. I was sleeping all day because I was so tired. I barely wanted to bathe myself. I didn't want to talk about how I was feeling. All I wanted to do was get up, eat, listen to some music to try to cheer myself up, and go back to sleep. I mean, my husband had to change the diapers, feed him, give him medicine if he needed it, you know, change his clothes. Like, I was trying. I was present. I was doing some of these things. But most of the time, it fell on my husband. And my husband was going through a lot at the time, too. So I felt so horrible. And this was years. I was losing weight. I mean, the baby weight was falling off, yes, but it was unhealthy. It was through depression. I wasn't really eating the way I was supposed to eat. Meaning I was barely eating. When I would wake up and go downstairs and eat something, it was like maybe I would have some soup. Maybe like a bowl of cereal or something. But I wasn't cooking. I mean, I wasn't doing anything. And the weight was just coming off. And when I would have the energy to leave my house, because I was in my house, I was like barely leaving my house. I was so uncomfortable with my body, with my mind. I was sad all the time. I didn't want to, get ready, get dressed, so I can actually do things with my husband and my child. I mean, my husband was taking him out places so my child could like get out. I mean, he's a new father, and he's put him in and out of the car by himself, going places with him by himself. I'm barely with him. I'm at home alone a lot because they're doing things together. My husband would always want me to go with him, tag along, but I would just be like, I don't want to go. I'm not feeling it. And what also triggered my sadness was the fact that I couldn't really talk to my mom about it. I was so sad that my mom was gone. And I couldn't talk to her about my depression, about my sadness, about how much I miss her and how much I miss my old life and how I miss getting up early and doing things. And I mean, my husband and I would get up early on the weekends and do things. We would be out from like 9 a.m. until whenever and just do things. And now I have no energy for any of that. I don't know when that's going to happen again. All of our funds, our finances are going towards our child. I felt like I couldn't do anything for myself. I was being really selfish with my thoughts. And I feel bad for that. But it was how I was feeling. And I couldn't talk to anybody about it. People were like, oh, call me if you need. I'm not going to call you. You don't know what I'm going through. Most of the people that were telling me this weren't even mothers or didn't mother the way that I would want to mother. They didn't go through postpartum, so they didn't really understand. Oh, you could get through it, it passes. It's just a phase. It's just a stage. You'll get over it soon. And I'm like, when is soon? Because I've been going through this for months and months. And then it turns into years. And yet I went through postpartum for a good about 4 years. And my son is going on 6. I'm just now, because that seemed like yesterday when I started feeling better about myself, when I started getting out of that funk, out of the dark night, the monster. The monster just recently got off my back. I just recently got out of baby blues. I started feeling myself. I had to cut my hair off because my hair was so matted because I wasn't taking care of my hair. I wasn't washing it. I wasn't brushing it. I wasn't combing it. And I used to have long hair. All my life I had long hair. And I loved my hair. but it was so far gone. I had to cut it all off. There's been a couple of times where I've had fades. And now I actually like my short hair. I enjoy short hair. Even though this kind of looks like Kramer from Seinfeld. Sometimes I have to laugh about it, but you know, it is what it is. This is who I am now. You know, I'm 40 years old. I'm not who I was when I was in my 20s with my long hair. I'm accepting that this is the vibe I'm in now. You know, I used to wear tight clothes, dresses, all that jazz. You know, I love the vibe of loose clothes, t-shirts, leggings, sweatpants. You know, my gym shoes. Feeling comfortable. And plus I'm a boy mom. So, you know, me having a dress and heels and, you know, like flip-flop sandals, running after him, and don't really, so, but when it started to lift, it was when, yes, my son started to get older, when he wasn't fully dependent on me for, I want to say transportation, when, you know, for him to get from here to here, I had to carry him or I had to pick him up. Now he's walking. You know, when he was 11 months, a little before that, he started walking. When he started walking, a little bit of the gray clouds started to part. I was like, oh, okay, I don't have to pick him up all the time. Great. Because he loved being independent. He loved walking. I mean, I would pick him up, but then he would just be like, you know, motioning me to put him back down. Great. That really helped me with my depression. When he started liking foods, that helped my depression. When he started talking, that helped with my depression. Little things started to give me energy, like going out on walks, different types of music genres I started to explore. Cutting off my hair, that really gave me a really big burst of energy, because now I've started to feel beautiful again. I didn't feel like what my mom would call a dolly vibe. I didn't feel like a dolly vibe anymore. Like a homely, I started feeling alive again. I started tapping back into my old self. I did start to gain weight again when I started to kind of feel better, so I wasn't able to fit my clothes. But that was okay, because I started to accept that, again, I'm a new mom. I'm not young anymore. So me fitting the clothes I'm supposed to fit, they're comfortable clothes. You know, my little size 10 jeans and my size small, medium shirts, I'm not going to fit that right now. I may fit them sometime in the future, maybe. I may sell them, get some money. Who knows? Because I don't know when I'm ever going to be back in the size 10 jeans, but I'm not worried about that right now. Right now, I live in the present, and I'm not worried about what I need to do to get back in my size 10 jeans. You know, I'm losing weight for myself so I can feel healthier, so I don't feel certain things in my body. Because again, I have to realize I am getting older, so I need to pay more attention to my health and not neglect my body anymore. I would say when my son turned 4, I started to look at things differently. I started to not want to be in the bed all the time. I realized I wasn't crying all the time. I wasn't crying all day for no reason. I wasn't really missing my mom to the point of tears anymore. It was more manageable, my grief. I was able to talk about her and not cry. I started going out on me dates again. I started going to, like acupuncture therapy. I started going out by myself and doing different things and making myself feel like, I don't know why I was so scared of doing things on my own. I used to love doing things like this by myself, and I got back into that slowly but surely. And then when my son started preschool, I really felt like the gray skies or the gray clouds started to part, because I was forced to get up early and take him to preschool and pick him up from preschool. So my schedule had to change, and the more and more I was going outside and doing things for my child, I started to feel more connected to him, and that more or less forced me to start realizing I need to be more involved as being his mother. I need to be more involved with his education, with his mind, with his learning new things, going outside to the park. I need to be involved, because when he gets older, I don't want him to look back at me and realize that I was absent. I was there, but I wasn't there. Because we could still remember things from when we were 4 or 5, when we were young. If we tap into that, or we remember certain situations or events, we can remember certain things being an adult of what happened when we were kids. We can remember that. And I remember my parents when I was a kid, and if they were present or not. I remember those type of things, and I don't want my son thinking that I'm the type of mother that he can't be proud of, that he can't be like, my mom was a human being, but she was around and she loved me, and she really, we grew up together. I'm proud of her. Her growth inspires me. I remember when she was this, and then I remember when she was that. Like, I want my son to really understand these things, that it happens to people, but you get out of it, because that's what life throws at you. Life throws these challenges at you that you have to get out of. You may be depressed and you may never get out of it, but it can become manageable and it can lift. I can honestly say today, with my son being almost 6 years old, I am no longer in postpartum depression or experiencing baby blues. If I do get depressed, it's for other things, because I'm human. Now I'm going through a whole slew of other health issues like perimenopause. Like, what? Nobody explained that to me, being 40. But, now I'm going through that. But, that's fine. That's the order of things. But at least I can actually say I'm enjoying being a mother and being around my child. And I love my child with everything I am. My child has changed me in so many ways. I've heard someone say about grief that they only remember life before the loss and now after the loss. Because now, with my mom being gone, I see the world as a world with my mother not in it. And I feel like the world is a lot less exciting without her in it. She brought so much happiness to my world. And now I have to find that for myself. And it's hard, especially in this world today. This world is so negative, and my mom brought so much light. Granted, I didn't really see it until the end because I didn't really get to know her as a woman and as my friend until her latter years, but at least I got to experience that. At least I got to get to know her better as a woman. I miss my mom so much, but she gives me a lot of strength. I see a lot of my mom in my son, down to the way he looks. I feel like my mom is coming through my son sometimes, the way he acts. I'm like, my mom was a Gemini, and my son has Gemini in his chart. Strong. So I know he's going to be very vocal about his opinions, like my mom was. Which is cool with me because I love that. I love a Gemini, especially a high vibrational one, a positive one. I have Gemini in my chart, strong. So I know what it's like to be around a Gemini and to be a Gemini. For me, motherhood was before motherhood and after birth. I don't recognize the person I was before I gave birth to my child. I am no longer that person. I can't be that person anymore. I buried that person long ago. Lay flowers on my grave. I am not that person anymore. I feel like people want you to still be the same person that you once were, and they may talk to you like the person you once were, or may want to come around you and act the same, or act like you, and you try to put on a mask, and you try to do it, you try to do the song and dance, and you try to, have these conversations, you try to go out to these places, you try, but it's just not hitting no more. It's just not doing it for you no more. After my postpartum depression lifted, I really started to see the world differently, and I started to really not give a damn about people's opinions and how they saw me anymore. I mean, if people didn't like how I was acting or talking or doing things, I didn't care anymore, because I was just happy to be alive. I was just happy that my husband is still with me, knowing that I was gone mentally. My child is healthy. He's okay. Him and I have a bond that is strong. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for our health. That's the things I think about. I don't think about other people and other people's feelings and opinions. I don't care about that. The people are always going to talk. I'm pretty sure people were talking about my depression when I was going through it, but did they help? Did they step up and want to be my friend and cheer me on? And no. I get everybody was going through their own thing, but I didn't feel like I had an army rallying behind me or any type of that. So I had to be my own army. And I feel like that's what a lot of people that are watching me have to do. Be their own army. And that created a certain type of strength within you that eventually got you up out of that postpartum depression. That monster. The big old baby blues. Just know that I have been there. It's hard. It's going to be hard. You're not even going to understand what's going on. you don't get it, you can't explain it to people because you can't even explain it to yourself. But just know that you're going to make it through. You're going to one day see that the sky is no longer gray, that the sun is back out, shining on your face, that you're going to feel the love once again. You're going to feel bigger and better than your old self. Because right now you want to feel like your old self. You want your life to go back to the way it used to be. Your life is never going to be the same, baby. It's never going to be the same. It's never going to go back to the way it used to be. You're never going to know a life without your child. Even, God forbid, if your child passes, you're never going to know a life without your child. Because now you're going to think about a life that you have without your child in it. Now you're going to think about the life that you could have had with your child in it. You're going to be thinking about these things. Your life is going to forever be changed. But just make it work for you so that it's a positive, not a negative, because it's not a negative. You have witnessed a miracle of bringing a child into this world. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people would love to bring children into this world and can't. It is actually a true blessing, really. I know it's hard because you can't do things anymore like you used to. You can't go party. You can't just jump and go places and travel, go do whatever you want to do, date this person. You can't do all that anymore. I know. It's hard. It's crazy. But that's okay. One of these days, you're going to realize that your child is going to be such a ride or die for you that there's going to be times where you're going to be telling your kid, I'm about to go do something. You good? You cool? Because I'll be back in a minute. And your kid going to be like, all right, cool, Mom. I'm fine. You go do what you got to do for yourself. I'm fine. I'm fine at home by myself. I could go out with some friends. I don't need you to hold my hand, Mom. I'm fine. You know, you deserve to do something for yourself. You deserve to go out. Like, you're going to end up having a really good friend in your kid if you really love on your child and give them the support and give them the love that they deserve. I know these people say, though, well, you shouldn't be friends with your kid. Why not? Be friends with your kid. You know, have boundaries. Know that you're not going to be playing no games, but you can still be friends with your kid. You can still have a good rapport with your kid to the point where you and your kid have an understanding that, you know, I'm a human, just like you. I got needs just like you. And if I need to do things for myself, I should be allowed. I deserve it, just like you. The way you didn't ask to be here, I didn't ask to be here either. But I'm here. And as long as I'm here breathing, I need to do things for myself, just like I got to do things for you. And if I don't do things for myself, how am I going to be good for you? I got to make sure I'm right so you could be right. And when your child is able to understand that, everything is going to be good. Just know that day will come. And keep holding on to it. Just knowing that day will come. You just got to keep one foot in front of the other and take one step and day at a time. You're going to blink and your child is not going to be an infant anymore. Your child is going to be going on 6. Because I swear to you, I feel like I just had my kid. And my kid is headed into grade school. I remember having conversations about, oh my God, I don't know what's going to be like when my kid is in grade school. And now my kid's about to be in grade school. Blink of an eye. And that means a blink of an eye, he's going to be in high school. And then if he wants to go to college. I'm not going to hold that against him if he doesn't want to go to college. I feel like college is a waste of money anyway. Anyway, that's another list chat. But I wanted to talk about this topic because I've been thinking about it. I've been seeing a lot of shows about it, and I'm like, you know what? I've been wanting to talk about this. It might be a part 2 at some point in the future on my channel about postpartum. I may have somebody chime in and talk about it with me, who knows? But if you have any additional comments, put it down in the comments about your experience of postpartum depression, or share this with anyone who's going through it to reassure them that it's okay to not be okay. Don't have somebody constantly in your face saying that this isn't healthy, this isn't right, you need to be there for your baby. I need to be there for myself. How about that? If you see I'm struggling, you be there for my child right now. How about that? I need to lay down. I need to cry it out. I need to go somewhere because I don't want to be looking at my child like I hate my child, like I want to throw my child out the window. I don't want to wish death on my child because I feel like I don't want to be here either. That's postpartum depression. I don't want that. So if you see that I'm down and out, don't tell me that this is unhealthy and that this is wrong. You need to step up, blah, 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 blah. You need to leave me alone. Let me go through my grief and because postpartum depression could also be seen as grief of your old self, because that was truly a death. When you gave birth and now you are no longer a single person, you are a parent, that was a death to your old life. So you are grieving. So let me go through it and get off my back. Leave me alone and help me. If my child needs to be picked up, needs to be fed, needs to go out in the world and get some air, or needs to have a diaper change, do that. The diapers are over there, the bottle's over there. Pick up the kid, take the kid to the zoo or something, and leave me alone. It is okay to say that. People should want to help you if they see you down like that. If they don't want to help you, then tell them to leave. I love each and every one of you. I hope that you feel this in your heart and really understand that it's okay. It's going to be okay. I am a living testimony of that. If you like this video, please give it a like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these let's chat videos of different topics. Continue to grow with me. I feel like I have a lot more growing to do, and we could do it together. So subscribe to my channel so you can get the notifications of when I upload a new video. Please like this video so it could push it through the algorithm so more people can see this video who may need to see it. And just be well. Until next time, I will see you, and always be the peace that you want in your life. You embrace that peace.